Hello friends, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to talk about volatile keyword uses in C#. It's important concept when we work with the concurrent threads. In this video, we'll see what volatile keyword is and when and how we can use it in a C# program. So before we get started, just a quick reminder to subscribe my channel, hit the red button and don't forget to click on the little bell icon. That way, you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, without any further delay, let's get started. What is volatile keyword in C#? Volatile is a modifier that is applied to a variable or an object, which indicates they might be modified by multiple threads that are executing at the same time. So the volatile keyword ensures that the concurrent thread get the latest value of a variable or an object. Okay, let's try to understand with the help of example shown over here. So in this example, there is a class named my class that has one boolean field named just stop, and I marked with the volatile keyword. When I marked it with the volatile keyword, so it informs the JIT compiler that the value of this variable should never be cached because it might be changed by a concurrently executing thread or operating system or even by the hardware. Okay, now there are two methods, do work method and a stop method. In do work method, I have a local variable, my variable of int data type, and I have initialized the value with the 0. And then there is a while statement where it verifies just stop variable. If it is false, so negation operation makes it as a true, and it allows to enter the while block and execute the console.writeLine statement where it prints the incremented value of my variable. And outside of the while loop, I have written this console.writeLine statement where this statement is going to get printed. Do work execution is getting completed. Why I have written this statement? Because I just wanted to track the flow of control, how it is executing. Now in stop method, we just set the value of the just stop to true. Okay, let's imagine there is another class named program that has main method, and it creates one thread and invoke this class do work with the help of the worker thread, and also set its just stop boolean value by calling its stop method, right? Now as there are two threads, they are involved and working concurrently on the same variable, that is the just stop, right? So if it is changed by the main method, that is by program class, the worker thread would get the latest value as it is marked with this volatile keyword, right? Let's suppose if it is not marked with the volatile keyword, what will happen? Then it would have the stale value and gives us the unpredictable outcome. Okay, we'll see the demo of it in Visual Studio. Before we jump on the Visual Studio, we understand first the important points related to the volatile keyword. Number one point, the volatile keyword can only be applied to fields of a class or a struct. It's very important. Number two, local variables cannot be declared volatile. What does it mean is, let's suppose we have method, do work or stop, right? And if we are defining any local variable inside that, and if it is marked with the volatile, so that is not allowed at all. So local variable cannot be declared with the volatile. So it's very important. It should be declared at the class level or a struct level. Okay. Number three, volatile keywords can be applied on simple types and enum type. Simple types such as sbyte, byte, sort, usort, int, uint, char, float, and bool. Whereas enum type is having the base type like byte, sbyte, sort, usort, int, or uint. Number four, other types including double and long cannot be marked volatile. Why? Because reads and write to fields of those types cannot be guaranteed to be automatic. So what is the solution for that? In order to protect the multi-threaded access to those type of fields, we can either use interlocked class member or we can use the lock statement. Okay, so these are the concept related to the multi-threading, but here we are going to focus on the volatile keyword in C#. Understanding volatile in detail. Here we are trying to understand the volatile keyword in C# in detail. Okay, so let's imagine each thread is having its own cache. Let's say there are two fields, A and B. A represents the non-volatile field and B represents the volatile field, and both are of boolean data type. Okay, if you see the image shown over here, there are three images, image 1, image 2, image 3. Image 1, that is with the initial status at left side. Here main memory contains the value of A and B as false, and cache memory also has the same false value for these two variables, right? That's what you are able to see. Main memory A is false, B is false, cache memory A is false and B is false, right? And here A is a non-volatile field and B is a volatile field. Now consider the image number 2, which is placed in the middle. When we set non-volatile variable a is equal to true by thread 1, that is the worker thread, then it just changes the value of the cache memory. That's what you are able to see. A becomes, true, right? And there is no changes in the main memory, and that's what A is having the previous value as a false one. Now consider the image number 3, which is placed at the right hand side over here, where we set the volatile variable b is equal to true by thread 1. Then it just the update the thread cache and then flushes the entire cache to the main memory, and that's what you are seeing, the value of b in the cache memory, right? And main memory got updated along with the variable a also. So now we understood how it works in volatile and the non-volatile scenario, right? Here if you see, I have just said b is equal to true and a is equal to true. It was done by the image number 2 itself, and that time it was having into the cache memory only, and it was not transferred to the main memory. But here when we are setting the b is equal to true, then it just update the cache memory and it flushes all the memory to the main memory, and that's what this a and b value got updated in the main memory also. So that's how this volatile keyword in C# works. I just drew these images for making you understand how it works internally. However, please note that in C#, all memory writes are volatile, irrespective of whether we are writing data to a volatile or a non-volatile object. The ambiguity happens when we are reading the data. When we read the data of the non-volatile variable, the executing thread may or may not always get the latest value. If the object is volatile, the thread always gets the most up-to-date value. Understood? Now let's switch to the Visual Studio and see the demo of the volatile keyword. Okay, so here we are on Visual Studio. Here we are going to see the demo of the volatile keyword. So for that, I have created one console application volatile demo, and I have written program.cs file. Okay, so in program.cs file, there is a class my class, and I have written this just stop boolean variable, and I have assigned value to false. And there is a do work method. Inside that I'm printing this statement, and then there is a variable my variable of the int data type, and I have assigned value to 0. And there is a while statement. In while statement I am checking this check negation of the just stop variable. If just stop variable is false, make it true, and then allow this statement to be executed. If it is true, then make it false, then escape this block, and then go and execute this statement console.writeLine my class do work execution is going to be completed, step number 4. Then there is a stop method in which I'm just assigning this variable just stop is equal to true. Now there is a class program which has main method, which is an entry point of this application. Here I'm just printing this statement main thread started step 1. Then I have instantiated of this my class, and that's what I have written my class obj my class is equal to new my class. Then I have created a thread. Inside that thread I am calling this do work method of this my class, right? With the help of obj my class I'm calling this do work method. Then I'm starting this thread. That's what I have written my thread.start. I'm printing this statement main thread starting my thread, in which calling do work method step 2. And then I have written this while statement, so it will execute until the worker thread activates. Okay, and then there is a thread.sleep method where I have passed this 10 milliseconds, so that just make the main thread to sleep for 10 milliseconds to allow the my thread to do some work. Then I have called this stop method of the my class, and that's what I have written obj my class.stop. And then finally there is a join method my thread.join. So basically this method is going to block the current thread until the object thread terminates. And then finally there is a console.writeLine statement main thread my thread has terminated, step number 5. Okay, let me execute this and see the output. Okay, if you see the output, this statement got printed step 1, step 2, step 3, and this 1 2 3 up to 84 it got printed inside this do work method, right? And then my class do work execution is going to be completed. This statement got printed as a part of a step 4, and finally the main thread my thread has terminated, step number 5 got printed. Okay, so this happened when we have not used volatile keyword. Okay, let me close this, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to comment this, and then I'm just going to uncomment this, so that this variable just stop will be marked with the volatile keyword. Okay, now let me execute this. Okay, so output got appear into this console window. If you see a step 1, a step 2, a step 3, and then it did some work, this do work method. It printed up to 30. and then the step 4 got executed, and then step 5 got printed over here. So if we are using volatile keyword, so whatever the value that we are changing from the main thread, right? I'm calling this a stop method. So basically it is assigning true value to the just stop. And in this while block, in this do work method, it is just going to consider that latest value. And when the latest value will be considered, this statement is not going to get printed. And that's why we have less value. So that's the beauty of this volatile keyword, where we will be getting the latest value that was changed by the different thread. Okay. Now that brings me to end of my session. To sum up, in this video, we show what volatile keyword is and learned when and how we can use it in a C# program. That's all for this video, guys. If you like this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends and colleagues, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already. Thanks for watching. See you next video.